What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after Week 7 of our Los Angeles Crusaders franchise, where the Crusaders probably had their most dominant win of the season against a pretty good Cleveland Browns team, and we have moved to 4-2. However, next up we have a very frequent opponent, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. We typically see them in the playoffs. I think we have the last 2 years, maybe even 3 years, and we definitely see them every year in the preseason. So it's a team we're a little bit familiar with. It's a team that beat us in the preseason, and now they have Brian Vasquez leading the way. It's not going to be an easy matchup, especially with all the weapons he has on offense. Let's go ahead and get to our game prep here, and obviously the work with Denny is paying off. 3 touchdowns last week, 0 interceptions, as well as a rushing touchdown. The guy is killing it so far this season, and I am very pleased with the work he has done. But let's go ahead and see if we can make him better. You know, we definitely need to get a little more crisp on those throws. The completion percentage definitely is not where we want it to be right now. However, he's getting the job done. He's not making that many mistakes anymore, and he's finding good wide open receivers. Finally, he's building some chemistry. Keyston Mack got into the end zone for the first time this season, which is a little bit crazy it took him this long, but we're there now. I hit the wrong button there. Let's go back here and make this happen. And unfortunately, that leaves us with 7 or 5 hours. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. All right, let's move forward here. And let's see if we have any new draft stories today. Darion Jenkins' perfect storm of inconsistency. Michigan State is shut out 24-0. Has a good week, then a bad week, then a great week, then a terrible week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him in the draft. He could potentially be a player that falls down a little bit. We've already seen that draft story. So Dunbar is actually on the trade block. This is the guy that got 4 touchdowns against us. I can't believe they would think about trading him away after the progress he has made. That's pretty crazy to see. But sure enough, he's on the trade block. We're going to continue to save up some scouting points. Let's go ahead and check out. So still ranked 26th in offense, but 10th in defense. Now, a lot of this is the fact that we've played one less game than a lot of people. That's why our offense is pretty low and our defense is fairly high. I definitely don't think our defense has performed that well this season up until last game, really. They've been all right, but not top 10, I don't think. And offense, I feel like, has actually performed a little bit better lately. We're not getting a whole lot of yards, but we're being decently efficient in terms of scoring touchdowns. We haven't been turning the ball over near as much lately. But the Broncos are still leading the way in the division. So not only do they have a 2-game lead on us, but they also have the tiebreaker on us. I don't know that we're going to be able to catch this team this season, which means we might be fighting for a wild card spot. Look at this. 222 points forced, only 106 points against. That is insane. I'm assuming, let's go ahead and check it out. They do have the best offense in the NFL, and the Texans have the second best offense. The 2 teams that beat us, very interesting there. Points against. And the Broncos have the number 1 offense and the number 2 defense. Unbelievable. Definitely a team to look out for. I'm worried about them in this year's playoffs. The 49ers, we actually gave them their only loss of the season. Pretty interesting to see that. Let's go ahead and check out the stats throughout our division once again. And maybe after next week, if not next week, the week after, we'll look at the NFL again. Oh, I did the NFC West. What am I thinking? All right, Stuart Denny has taken over Chaz Jenkins in the quarterback rating department, 103.3 to Chaz Jenkins, 102.8. Tremaine Small must have had a bye week. It doesn't look like his stats changed at all there. And Philip Farrell slowly getting a little bit better, but still struggling in that interception department there. However, Stuart Denny, look, so much more yards here for Chaz Jenkins. Over 500 more yards. Actually, 600 more yards. 600 more yards for Chaz Jenkins. But Stuart Denny is finding his way into the end zone a lot more, and part of this might be the struggling running attack of the Crusaders, whereas the Broncos can hand the ball off and get some touchdowns. But it's still pretty promising to see Stuart Denny, a rookie, play this well. He actually only has thrown 1 more interception than Chaz Jenkins as well. Of course, we have played 1 more game to my knowledge, or 1 less game, to my knowledge. So still, overall, I'm pretty happy with Stuart Denny to this point. Le'Veon Bell still leading the division in carries, yards, and it looks like touchdowns as well. Devin Golden, second on the list now, still struggling with only 3.9 yards a carry. Definitely not where we want him to be. But last week, he definitely showed a little bit more promise into getting back to the running back we expect from him. Le'Veon Bell is indeed leading the way with running touchdowns. Jamal Charles, Monte Ball, and James Starks behind them They're all tied with 3, as well as Lamar Miller. I'm sorry, I missed that one. And then Stewart, Denny, and Golden each have 2 with Isaiah Crowell. So many rushing touchdowns from the Broncos here. Again, they're just killing teams in a majority of ways. Both their top 3 players with catches in the division, all the Broncos, and they are just torching teams with the passing attack. Chaz Jenkins is just killing it. Jawan Sellers, the second-year player, favorite target of Tremaine Small, doing a pretty good job so far this season. Mohamed Sanu on the list as well. And once again, we have to go quite a ways down the list before we get to Keyston Mack. We definitely need to get more completions going in our passing attack, especially with our running game struggling. However, Shakir Gayton still leads the way with 6 touchdown catches. He is having a great season in that slot for the Crusaders. 4 for Garner, Ward, and Thomas. And just so many Broncos on this list. Bobby Stevenson actually having a revival of a season a little bit. Let's go down to defense. This is Donald Butler leading the way with Eric Weddle. Brandon Spikes on 3rd on the list now. If we're checking out sacks, we got 8 for Shelby Harris, 8 for Von Miller, and 8 for Khalil Mack, 4 for McCown and Gibson. Roby with 2. Again, I think he got those against us. And Elijah Thornton with 2. Interceptions, Chris Harris Jr. and Roby still leading the way with 3. Aqib Talib with 2. TJ Ward with 2. All 4 Broncos. Unbelievable. Claiborne. Raheem Moore, another Bronco. This is just insane. It's like each week their stats just get better and better. Really unbelievable. Let's go check out fumbles forced really fast. 2 for Raynard Ray, 2 for Brandon Spikes, and 2 for Khalil Mack. Fumbles recovered, 3 for Sherman, 2 for Puzlesny, and 2 for Hickman. Still got that glitch going on down there. That's probably going to be there all season. No safeties and no blocks. Defensive touchdowns, LeJohn Knight still the only one in the division making it happen. Kicking. And Hartley actually had a field goal blocked. Still, I don't think they played. That's right. So still 12 of 16, but Prater 18 of 18. Gostkowski and Crosby each 7 of 7. The returning game, we got Chase Cross still leading the way with 27.7 yards per return. Now, Cooper actually has a touchdown. However, Chase Cross averages more yards per return. So Cooper just broke off one really long one of 46 yards for a touchdown, it looks like. Let's go ahead and check out the weekly stats. See what we got going on over here. Or the weekly awards, I apologize. And Stuart Denny might be on this list. He had a pretty good game. And he is Stuart Denny, 19 of 29, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, along with 3 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. 4 touchdowns on the day for Stuart Denny. I don't believe he turned it over. I don't remember him fumbling it. So just a monster game from him. Robert Griffin III, 29 of 37, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Only 2 carries for Robert Griffin. Maybe he's trying to avoid getting hurt. Clemens, the free safety for the Lions with 9 tackles, an interception, a fumble forced, and a fumble recovered. And then Brian Cushing, 11 tackles, a sack, and an interception for the Texans. Guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. It definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see y'all in week number 8 as we have another game against the Baltimore Ravens. Later.